Hey, we're back, Coon Prairie Ramblers. We're still here, still confabulating. We got Casey over there.
Yeah.
Yep. And we got Flash and Flutter.
Hello.
Which is one person, not two.
Oh, yeah, it's one person.
I flash and I flutter.
That sounds like a pro wrestler.
Or something.
I am the mystery guest.
Or an exotic dancer.
What?
Yeah, an exotic dancer, yeah. Hey, you're going to have to guess out there. And we got me, the fleet of foot, the pedantic man about town, the mailman. It's time for the F-bomb.
You ready?
A Flash and Flutter. Can you whistle? Can you whistle, Casey?
I can try.
Okay.
Ready? Here it comes.
I think we got to get Luke back for
Was
that.
that kind of wimpy?
Yeah. Our bombs. Hey, whatever happened to your little sound effects machine?
Well,
That's Hannah's.
Hannah, you stole it from your daughter.
well, I
You
would
won't get
bring
me.
it back. I thought it was. I thought you guys thought it was a little bit over the top.
No.
Oh, you liked it? Oh,
yeah.
I'll bring it back.
To get one for his own instead of
Yeah.
taking Hannah's.
Yeah, it had farts and burps and things like that.
And screams.
Screams. Well, Flash and Flutter. What if you? This is the if bomb here, guys. What if you were the queen of the world, and what if we, KC and myself, were king of the world?
We all each
could only
had
have
our
one.
own little domain.
Oh, we each had a domain.
Yeah.
Oh, the king of a country then, of a
King
domain.
of the world. But you're running your world the way you want to, and I'm running what mine.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Separate worlds.
How would you run your world? Well, first of all,
We wouldn't have any parking meters anywhere.
no parking meters. And people wouldn't have to bow down to me.
No.
They might be. It would be polite to give me like a tip of
Tip
the
of the
hat.
hat, exactly.
Yeah. And I would
about a
return
salute?
it. I would return it to you.
Right.
Or salute.
Well, just a
Kind
tip
of
the hat.
casual.
Yeah.
Okay.
Casual.
A casual,
Well,
okay.
as queen, what would you like to have, Flash and Flutter?
Oh, they could probably, put a hand up and wave,
Or would you require them to flutter their eyes at you? And you flutter back.
Well, that might be fun. But
Yeah.
It might get old, too.
Yeah. People might end up with weird tics.
Yeah.
Having to flutter
Me
their
too.
eyes.
Always,
To flutter back all the time, I might get old.
Yeah.
it was always interesting to me and somewhat annoying that certain cultures have people of royalty that you have to address in a certain way.
Yeah.
You have to know the exact protocol
Right.
to approach them, that you're not supposed to touch them, you're not supposed to put
Let
your
me
hand
give
on
you an
them.
example.
Okay.
Yeah,
An
I was always
example.
fascinated with that, but I never thought that I would like to have to be under all those rules.
Oh, I
you know?
wouldn't either. That's the part of me being my little ruler. I wouldn't have a lot of rules about
Yeah, a
it.
lot
If
of
somebody
rules.
wanted to come up
Yeah.
and give me a hug,
Yeah, because
they
that-
could come up and give me a hug.
If you had a lot of rules, you would have to remember those rules.
Exactly. That makes it complicated.
And you wouldn't want to turn to your
Advisor.
advisor and say, "Hey, do we have a rule about
Hey,
that?"
quick, pull the rule book out.
Yeah.
You
He
know?
just hugged me.
Yeah. But let me give you an example. When I was stationed in Thailand back during the Vietnam War, I became aware that you weren't. It was not. It was an insult to touch somebody on the top of their head. And the Thai people are generally short or shorter than the GIs. So I saw, many times it was a taller person. A lot of times, hey, how you doing down there?
It was sort of condescending.
Yeah. Well, that was a taboo in Thailand. And you know what? I saw, the three tenors, the three Italian tenors, Placido Domingo, Jose Carreras, and Luciano Pavarotti.
Yep.
I saw Pavarotti, and he was doing this. I've watched the film very many times, but he put his hand on top of Jose Carreras' head, and I could see in Carreras' eyes and his facial
He
expression,
didn't like it.
he didn't appreciate that.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
But he's still smiling because he's in front of the public.
Right.
I don't like that.
Gritting his
Get your
teeth
hand
as
off
he
of me.
smiles.
Yeah. But Pavarotti was just kind of, and he was really the main tenor.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And he knew it.
Yeah. Oh, but back to Thailand. When you sat, people would squat down, and you never saw them sit with their legs crossed. They always sat with their feet against the ground, the bottoms of their feet against the ground, in a squatting position.
With their knees together?
Either way, sometimes out or in, But you never. And the reason they didn't sit cross-legged is because the bottom of their foot would point towards somebody.
And that was
That was taboo also,
to have
yeah.
your bottom of your foot pointing to someone, it's taboo to touch them on top of their head. Now, here in the United States, it's taboo to touch a lady on her hind end, right?
Well, it depends.
Yeah.
It depends on your relationship.
Okay.
Exactly, right. Otherwise, if you don't, somebody's
Yeah,
going to get an
people you
elbow
don't
in the
know.
ribs.
Yeah.
I never felt comfortable being slapped on the butt by another man.
Yeah, but those football players
I know
do
they
it
do
all
it.
the
I don't
time,
like
and
it,
I
though.
look at that and I think, why are they
Yeah.
doing that? That's
Well, you
weird.
Well, in your country, would you do that?
Well,
Would you allow other men to pat you on the hiney?
Well, I ain't going to have no rules.
Oh, you
ain't got
just don't have rules.
No rules against it, no rules for it. But
I would have a rule against it. You can't pat the king on his hiney.
No touchy.
well, if you do pat, you can't
Off the
leave
top of
your
my head, I
hand-
think that would be one of the two I would have. No touchy on top of the head or the bottom. You need the top and the bottom alone.
Yeah.
You can hug me.
If you do touch on the bottom, don't leave it there too long. That's the
Linger.
taboo.
It's lingering.
Don't linger, and don't let the fingers do any tickling. No tickling.
I think that's a pretty good rule there. I think that's pretty well much etiquette.
Now, in the house, there's different rules, right?
Yeah.
Well, and I think that a lot of that
How
is
do
what
you-
you said about the top of the head. It is a condescending thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like a little kid. Like, oh, now you be a
Right.
little good boy and you run on and play and do what you're
You
supposed
don't
to
do that to a peer. You
Right.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there are people who don't realize that, or else they do it on purpose. I don't know.
And
'cause
I also have a
there are some
rule.
people around that I'm aware of that do that.
Pat you on top of the head.
Yeah, they'll come up and hey, how you doing?
I think you being a little bit sparse up there might have a little
Yeah.
different than
Yeah.
because hey, man, leave my cancer spots alone.
Yeah. I'd have a rule about bar stools that they had to be comfortable.
Yeah.
Not like these would that you were sitting on.
Yeah, the radio
awful.
stations, you got to do something a little bit better here.
Need a little bit longer
Yeah.
seat. Have more support. on legs
Exactly.
here.
So,
It
okay,
is.
no touching on the head, no lingering on the bottom, and no pointing to the bottoms of the feet. Wait a minute, we got rules all of a sudden.
I mean, no, that's
Well,
what I was
I
just
want- I
thinking.
want
You
some
said you weren't
rules.
going to have any rules. What's going
Yeah.
on?
Well,
You
should
got
you
to
have rules or should you not have
You
rules?
should.
I think you should, but there
Yeah.
shouldn't be too many.
Yeah.
I mean,
And they
otherwise
shouldn't
you'd be
stupid.
Yeah.
right.
You should
And
be
I-
stuff like don't wink at me or
Yeah.
something.
And I think only the king should make the rule, and we shouldn't have a group of legislators making the rules. What do you think about that? Only one person making the rules?
You know, I've often thought the perfect government, other than a theocracy, would be a wonderful dictator,
A benevolent
a
dictator.
benevolent,
Yes.
perfect dictator that
Yeah.
was not out for any one group,
Yeah.
not out for any one person, not out for himself, but he was out for the general good
Yeah.
of the country.
But in order,
Or
gonna
the
be
world,
hard to
in
find,
this case,
though.
the world.
you
Oh,
would,
you
have,
couldn't find
you
that.
would have to trust the deity, the God, to give you that benevolent benevolent ruler.
Yeah, you would.
Yes,
Because if
because
you had a bad ruler,
Like-
and you look into the Bible, they had many bad rulers.
Oh, we've had them
And then
recently,
they would
too.
have
Yep.
a good. They'd be followed by a good ruler. So I guess it's just. Would you just have to endure the bad ruler and wait till he died, and then
Yeah.
wait for the good
Or-
one?
Yeah. But I would try to rule from my kingdom to the point where nobody wanted to kill me.
Yeah.
that would be a plus.
Yeah, I would try to be the kind of person about, oh man, he's a pretty nice guy,
Yeah.
when you get to know him.
Yeah.
Because I know they wouldn't like me at first.
Yeah.
I'm not the kind of I'm the kind of person you have to kind of grow on you.
But you might be the kind of ruler who says, "I'm going to insulate myself, and nobody's going to get to me, and I'm going to have guards at every place."
I wouldn't have. I wouldn't be like the Pope where I just walked out on the porch once a day and waved at everybody.
Well-
I'd have some other way to be able to.
Fleisch and Flutter, as queen, how would no rules? Some rules?
I think a few rules would be great, but not too many as to so that you would get confused and your people would get confused. And I think what Casey mentioned earlier during the break about being able to maybe have it always spring or always fall, and I'm not sure what season that I would like be able to have it. I don't know. I really
Spring.
like. I don't know. I really like
Early
fall
spring.
because
Early spring.
I don't know. I like fall weather when
Fall
it's
is
the
dying.
colors are
But
so
everything's
beautiful.
dying.
Yeah, I
And
know.
It's
but it'll.
a signaling of an end.
Yes, but the
Spring
weather
is a
is so
signaling of
beautiful.
a new beginning.
Yeah, I guess I say that because I'm a Florida girl and I've never experienced that
And you have
many.
a fall complexion.
Yeah, I guess so.
The fall colors are your colors.
Yes, they are.
So
but
you're a earth tone person.
yes, autumn, I guess you could say. I think it's just so beautiful, and the blue sky and this warm sun and the cool breeze, and it's cool at night, and
Not a lot of bugs.
Perfect.
Not a lot of bugs.
Yes. You know, I'm from Florida, and I never experienced that. The first time I ever saw it, I went up north with my husband. Yeah, it was like, wow, I have never seen this before. It's so gorgeous. So, yeah, I think I like that.
I'd prefer to have springtime.
Yeah,
When
springtime
all
is
the
nice.
birds are in Twitter-pated.
Which season has the most songs? Younger than springtime.
Summer.
Yeah,
Summertime.
Summertime is nice
Yeah,
too.
I'd say summertime.
Yes.
I think it's because everybody was miserable and they thought, well, I'll write a song about this.
Yeah. Roll out.
You know where
Summertime,
Twitter pated
summertime,
come from?
summertime,
What?
summertime.
Twitter-pated. You know
Hey,
where it
what
came
was that
from?
song?
Summertime.
Okay, and your question?
What? No, like,
Oh,
so spring in Mel land, spring in KC land,
Yeah.
and fall in Flash and Flitter.
yeah.
Flutter.
Flash and flitter. And she's going out like a flitter, or like a flutter.
And guess what?
It's time
We're
to
out
go.
of time. We got 30 seconds left. Pay some bills.
Happy trails.
Don't
to
forget,
you.
don't touch that dial. We'll be back
Keep
again next week.
shining
It's been great.
Enjoyed
Happy
having you.
trails.
Thanks.
Wow. That was interesting.